Hello everyone. So today I wanted to share something that for me is going personal. So again, like in the other videos, this is going to be vulnerable of me and I already know it. But I want to share it because I've come through, and I want to share it because I know that some of you would have gone through this or still going through this. And so I want this to be an encouragement actually. I want this to be a time where we can reflect on the fact that we are simply not perfect. We are not going to be these perfect Christians. And I'm sharing my story today as one that is not perfect. So I've got these sticky notes and I've written things down on these notes that I'm going to place on my body. And I'll tell you exactly why, but if you can read these words, if they'll stick, these are all actually labels that I had over me for so long. And you may not be able to see all of them, and I'll zoom in slightly in a little bit now. But I wanted to put this on because it's so meaningful to my story. It's so meaningful to my life in the way that it's gone. And these are not just words, but they were actually what I thought to be true. These are actually words that I believed to be true. I didn't actually think that these were all lies. I didn't think that these were just words. They applied to me in my life because I was labelled for so many things. But I'm here today to share that actually I don't have these labels anymore. And it's such a privilege and a freedom to know Jesus Christ. And if you don't know Jesus Christ, then I'll be happy to share about him. And it is not in the way that some would have been brought up to think of, in a religious way. Jesus is not a religious structured man. It is a relationship. When you come to know him, it is a relationship, purely that alone. It's not religious. You're not tied down. You're not put to shame or anything like that. He takes away the shame that people have put on you. And you might be hurt by people of the church even. You might be hurt by Christians. You might be hurt by your family members or friends, your sisters and brothers, people that were really close to you. But I want to encourage you that not all of us Christians are like that. Not all of us are those Bible bashers. Not all of us are putting you to shame. And actually, that's not what Jesus' heart looks like. Jesus' heart is so much bigger than ours. And we mustn't forget that as human beings, even when we become Christians, we still are not going to be perfect. So it's so important not to rely on anybody for your worth and identity and truth, because we're all going to mess up. We're all going to make mistakes. It's not going to be perfect. And it's not going to be easy either. Jesus takes you on a journey that I'll never forget, and a journey that I want to be on. It's not that it becomes easy, but it's that all these labels get put off, all these labels get taken down, all these labels get taken away, because he simply loves you, he loves me, he loves all of us. And it's not just the ones that become Christians. He loves us way before we even get to know him. So my labels here today, don't know if you can read them, but I'll read them out. So I've got shame right here. I should take a closer look. I don't know if you can see these properly, but I'll say them out anyway. Shame, lies, learning disability, vulnerable, dumb, too nice, a bitch, damaged, too thin, too skinny, too thick, silly, stupid cow. And there are so many more labels that I could put on here, but I'm not going to. And I'm not putting this video out here to really reflect on my past exactly, but to be an encouragement that this was part of my story, yes, but it doesn't mean that it's the full part of my story. This was only a glimpse of my life. This was just part of my life. There were so many critics, so many people that have hurt me, so many types of people that I wouldn't think would have hurt me. But again, I have hurt people as well. I know that I've hurt people. I know that I've made mistakes just as they've made mistakes. I've been put under a lot of oppression, by the way, not depression. But I've been put under a lot of authorities as well, which I won't go into today, but I've been put under a lot of different things that today you probably wouldn't even think, because I look so smiley and so friendly. But we don't really know people, we don't really know each other unless we talk about our story. So this is my story. All these post-it notes are labels of what people have actually put on me for me to believe that they were true. I was called these names so many times and by so many people, but now I stand today, or I sit rather today, but I stand confidently knowing that these were just labels. These were lies. These were not truth about me. This is not how God saw me. This is not how Jesus saw me. It is only a reflection of what people think. And sometimes it's out of jealousy. Sometimes it's out of envy. I know that some people have wanted to be me. I know that some people have wanted my life, wanted to be me. But in the way they did it was through jealousy. So I never got to really know that that's really what they wanted to do. Some people were just nasty because they wanted to be nasty. Not just because of me, but just because they were having a bad day, or a bad week, or a bad month. But what I've come to realise is that people can have opinions, but it doesn't mean I've given them permission. They can have an authority, but again, they don't have my permission to speak these over me. Everyone can have an authority, everyone can have a permission to do so, but unless you say yes or no, then they don't have the permission. It's simple as that. They don't have the permission over you to speak these words over you. Only you have the power to believe in them, whether they are a lie or true. Only you have the power to believe in it. I've become my own cheerleader. I've become my own friend, if you like, and that might sound lonely. I don't care what it sounds like. I believe in myself for me. I've become confident. I've become so many things that these labels could not have made me to be in any way. So I encourage you that whatever labels you're having right now, whatever stage of life you're in right now, in the mentality or any other kind of way, I want to encourage you that that is not the end of your story. That is not the end of you. That is not the end of your life. And it doesn't have to be a full stop right there. It can be a comma. It can be a new paragraph. It could be a new chapter. It doesn't have to be the end. It can be the end of one chapter. Your life can be like a book, full of many chapters and stories, but it doesn't have to end with that bad one. Mine didn't, so yours doesn't either. Yours doesn't have to. You get to choose what life you live. What kind of a life you want to be leading. What kind of a role model you want to be for even your future children or your friends, your siblings, whoever. These lies could have done so much to me, and yes, they did for so long. But it didn't stop there. They could have taken me under completely, but it didn't. Because I found my inner strength, and also through Jesus alone. Pulled me up from the pit of despair, and placed me on a firm rock to stand. Because even He knew that was not the end of my story. Thank you for listening. And comment and like and share if you want, rather. Yeah. And just be encouraged, really. Just be encouraged. Thank you.